guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm quite literally sitting in a jungle because I'm going to be sharing my personal thoughts on the top 5 easiest houseplants. Plants are probably the thing I get the most questions about, I think, because you guys kind of saw me like transition from no plants to all the plants, and I get a lot of questions about teach me how to have a green thumb. I personally don't really think I have a green thumb because I've killed plenty of things, but I think plants are a lot of trial and error and learning and all that. So I think, I don't know, there's still so many plants I've killed and plants I'm currently killing, but when it comes to these 5, I find that they are like miraculously easy to take care of and great if you are just wanting to start out in houseplants. But before we get into it, first I wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare very kindly. As a lot of you know, I'm working with Skillshare for the rest of this year and I'm really excited about it because Ludo's excited about it too, he's barking. Because it's a website that I personally think is super helpful, useful, and me and Bradley both truly use it. So if you don't know what Skillshare is, it's basically like a website full of courses, classes that you can take on pretty much every subject you can think about. So you could take it in creative fields and things that you just want to learn for fun. You can take courses in like your line of work. There's a bunch of fun things you can do on it, and it also makes it super easy because they have a lot of like really functional features. Like you can make playlists if you wanted to like make a playlist for all your drawing videos and your cooking videos, and so you can kind of find things there. You can save all the classes you want to these said playlists. One of my favorite features is the chapter breakdowns, just because if I'm taking a longer class and I don't have time to take the whole thing in one sitting, I can remember which chapter I was on, go back to it when I'm ready to restart, or if I want to re-go over something, I can refer back to the chapter and just start right there. And they have courses on literally everything. So cooking, homemaking, plants of course, drawing, creative writing, filming and editing. They have courses on cameras and Final Cut Pro and transitions if you're editing like me. All sorts of cool crafts. I once watched I haven't done it, but I really want to do it. I ordered the supplies to do it. Making my own plant pots out of polymer clay. I watched a really fun video on that. Creative writing, interior design. There are just classes on probably whatever you're looking for. So definitely check it out. And along today's topic, I would highly recommend a video by The Sill, I think it's called, which The Sill is also a website you can shop through to buy plants, but they have a couple really great like detailed videos on indoor plants, and I have watched that quite a few times because I enjoy it. So I will link like that exact video down below, and the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a 2-month premium membership for completely free, which is awesome. That is so much time to use their website, get to know it, see if you like it, and then if you want to keep it from then on, it is less than $10 a month. So yeah, thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Again, I will have that link down below. First 1,000 people get 2 months free, so be sure to click it and sign up. And if you do, let me know what you watch because I might want to watch it too. Alright, so I also feel like I should say, like, I am not a professional at all. I am somebody who probably like 3-4 years ago got into houseplants. I've always super been into like my outdoor garden plants. Like I have basically my herbs. Once I learned how to grow those, I became like obsessed with kind of always having them and being able to grow my own food essentially, which I can't wait to branch out and do more of that when I have a yard or something like that. But so I was always into my outdoor garden, but then I don't know, something hit me. For some reason I was really weirded out by having pots of dirt inside, which I know that sounds really weird, but like that was my thought process. It's like, well, why would I want a bunch of dirt in my house? I know. But turns out plants have so many like great benefits, and the soil as well. Like I think I read somewhere that like dealing with soil and breathing something in, which is gross because it's basically poop, right? Or is that manure? I don't even know. It has things in it that literally like relieve your anxiety and things like that. And a lot of these plants help clean the air, which is awesome as well. But all that to say, I am not a professional. Like I barely know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna tell you like what plants I'm able to keep alive, like with the bare minimum work if you want to get those as well. So again, don't come for me. I am not a professional. Just with a lot of trial and error, these are the plants that I'm able to keep alive with very, very minimal work. So we're gonna start with my favorite, which is behind me, and that is the snake plant. I have quite a few of these because I am obsessed with them. One, I love that they stand straight up. I love the way they look. I know I feel like maybe that's an acquired taste. And I love having bushier plants as well, but I love that just that one, as it grows, it will get taller and it doesn't really get wider because they're easy to stick in places where you need something but you don't have a ton of room. So I have a snake plant back there, and that basket is from Target. I can link down below, and then I just added pom-poms to it myself. But snake plants, I feel like could literally neglect it for 2 months and it would be completely fine. Like, they are so, I want to say the word resilient. I don't even know if that's it, but that's what I want to say, so we're gonna go with that. They're hard to kill. They are hard to kill. I do have one in the bathroom that I literally forgot was in there because it's kind of in a corner, and it's still fine. You know, it needs a little bit of TLC, but it is still kicking, and I forgot about it for like 2 months. And another great thing about snake plants, they can be in any kind of light. I have most of mine in very low light areas. I guess this one, there's a lot of indirect light, but my other one gets 0 light. It is doing incredibly well. The one in the bathroom, 0 light. It's doing great. But I've also seen them like outdoors in the sun and they look great as well. So they could have either way, which I think you can't lose with that. But I always recommend snake plants for people who are like, I don't have a lot of light. Like, snake plants will definitely stay alive and thrive. They don't need a lot of sun, so definitely love that. It's also called like mother-in-law's tongue or something like that. But they're very common. You've probably heard of them or seen them. They're very easy to find. My favorite places to shop for plants are Lowe's, and we have a Armstrong garden center around here. It's also like a few like local plant shops that like aren't available to everyone that I like to go to, but like those are the 2 main ones I go to, and I always see snake plants. So definitely check out a snake plant if you're in need of something that you never want to think about and can be in the dark. All right, next up are pothos plants, which these are also extremely popular. They can be hanging plants like this one here, which I got this one literally a year ago and I never got a cuter pot for it. It just hangs in this nasty pot. Isn't that cute? This one exactly is an Epiprimnum pothos. I don't know. So these are great for hanging plants, of course, because they drape down. I also do have a couple on shelves, and I just love the way they look. They just kind of vine down. They are very easy to propagate. I have propagated this one into this guy, and it only had 3 leaves when I first like planted it, and now it has 6. Oh, 5. I did have to cut one off. We did lose one. But so this is a cutting from that plant, and I might propagate it some more because I have some more growth on the back side. This one is in the bedroom. It faces the sun just on this side, so it's doing a little better, which I kind of like. I guess eventually I could turn it and have it going down on all sides, but I do like them to be a little bit one-sided. But again, they can be in kind of all sorts of light. They definitely thrive more when they have more like indirect sun. But this one is in a pretty dark corner as well as my other one, and they're both doing just fine. And I should mention, I water my snake plants literally once a month, if I remember. Like, sometimes it's longer than that. For all of my plants, sometimes I'll do like a deep watering, and a lot of the time for the snake plant, I'll do it since it's just like the one time a month. I'll fill up the bathtub or the sink with a little bit of water that they can sit in, and then I'll water the top and just let them sit in the water for like an hour or so, and then drain it and let everything drain out. But it just kind of like, they look incredible after you do that, which I don't do that every time I water them, but if I'm in the mood to have like a deep watering plant day, it's fun. And I'll do the same with these, maybe once every 1 to 2 months. But my pothos plants, I water once a week. If I do forget, they can last for 2 weeks, but they definitely do better if you water them once a week, which like, I don't think that's too much to ask. Yeah, that's one of my pothoses. This is another one. I love this one. I have a little eyeball in it from Halloween that I just never took out. You can't even see it. This one is doing exceptionally well right now, and I don't know why. This is one of my favorite pots that I got from Anthropology. I can link it down below. That comes in a few different sizes, and I want a bigger one as well. This one I have up on a shelf, and I am trying to have it grow down on the one side, but again, this one is kind of like in the dark, so it's gonna be a slow grow, which I'm fine with. As you can see, it's still like really happy and healthy. And I just love pothoses so much. It took me a while to get into these, but now that I am, I'm like, they're the easiest thing. And I love that you can propagate them so easily for free. So I think I'm definitely gonna take that new cutting off of the other pothos I just showed you and make some more, because why not? Next up is my rubber plant, which this has a fancier name. I don't remember it, but I know that like the slang name for it is the rubber tree, which the leaves do feel very like weird. Like, they're thick, but they are kind of rubbery. I don't know, it's weird. I love the way these leaves look, and this is like, this and the pothos come in a bunch of different variations. So if you find a rubber tree, it might not look like this, but with my experience, this guy lives in this room. It lives in that back corner. It is very dark. I feel like it gets literally 0 sunlight, and it's doing just fine. I guess it doesn't grow a whole lot, but it definitely does grow. I do have a new leaf that just came in right here. Oh my god, I just broke a leaf. So sad. Oh, that is really sad. Rest in peace. Damn it. But again, this is a plant that I often like forget about for 2 months and I'm like, oh, I should water that. And it's fine. So you catch a trend that it's kind of like I'm trying to tell you about. A lot of people are afraid to start with houseplants. It's like, oh, I don't have time to upkeep with them. But like, I literally forget about a lot of these for months and they're fine, you know? So, you know, however you want to do it. But this one I find literally very easy to take care of. I do nothing but water it when I can think about it, and it doesn't really require any sun. Next up, I will insert a clip in, but is my Monstera. They can be a little bit more expensive. Not expensive, but just like expensive for like a house plant. I was on the hunt for one for so long. I found one at Armstrong for $40, but I was like, you know what? I cannot spend that much money on a plant. And then I'm happy I didn't, because like a week or two later, I found one at Lowe's for $25. They're very tropical. I have one propagating in this jar right here. And they're very bushy, so be wary of that. That's why I didn't bring my other one in here, because it takes up the entire room. But they're also known as the Swiss cheese plant because they have like little lines in the leaves. I love the way they look. Again, they look very tropical to me, like I'm in Hawaii or something. They do require water like once a week. Again, if I forget, it doesn't die or anything. You can just, with my Monstera, I can tell when it needs water, so I kind of like wait till it needs water and then I water it. I haven't checked this until right now. I have a root. That is so exciting. So that's another nice thing about houseplants, is you can propagate them once you kind of know how, and have another plant for completely free. So I paid 25 bucks for that Monstera, but I'm gonna get clippings out of it as long as I can keep it alive, and I can pass it on to family and friends, or just keep making more houseplants even though I'm quite out of room. But yeah, I love my Monstera. It's very bushy. So if you have a tight space, I don't think it would work. Because it just kind of like, the stems go everywhere, as you can see. But if you have like an empty corner, this is like all up in my face. If you have like an empty corner, it is beautiful at filling out an area. So that's something to keep in mind as well. I also did want to mention, while we're talking about propagating, this, the little book of houseplants. This is another great resource for learning about houseplants. I've talked about this book a lot lately, but I'm literally obsessed with it. It shows you the picture of the plant right here, tells you, of course, what it's called, a little something about it, the light it requires, water, pruning, if it's dangerous or anything, if it's toxic to dogs. It also sometimes tells you how to propagate it, so I love this book. I can link this down below as well. I've also watched a video on Skillshare about propagating plants. There's not a lot, but there are some. And it's worth learning because it's a good skill to have. And then my last pick for easy houseplants, and then I think this is more of a rare find or a rare pick, but I do know that they come in like all sorts of like variations. They look different, so I still have it in its original pot. This is the Butterfly Chinese Evergreen, and I love this plant. It does need a little bit of work, but the stems themselves are light pink. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I have to have that. And so I kind of bought it on a whim. This was $25. I think this and the Monstera is like the most I've ever spent on a houseplant. Even our fiddle leaf fig tree, which I would not recommend for beginners. I cannot figure that thing out. We got it at Costco for like $22. So I think this and the Monstera is the most I've paid for a houseplant. But this one ended up being so worth it. I got this like 3, maybe 2 years ago, and I was kind of nervous about it because I didn't know anything about it, but it grows very, very nicely. And this one prefers the dark. So if you have a dark corner up in a bedroom or something that just doesn't get any light, an evergreen, or at least this exact Chinese evergreen, would be perfect, because this seriously is in a spot in our apartment that gets no light. Maybe a little bit of like bounced off of something else in direct light, but literally no light, and it prefers it that way. And I just think it's so pretty with the beautiful pink that comes through on the leaves. Like, I just absolutely love it. And like, here's a new growth. It's completely pink. Isn't that so pretty? And this plant like does very, very well. I probably water this also about once, maybe every 2 weeks, and there's new growth all the time, and it's been doing even better lately. So yeah, that's a bit of more of a rare one, but I totally love it if you can get your hands on one. Very easy to take care of. And alright, you guys, that is it. You might be surprised there's no succulents in this video. I personally, I love succulents, but I don't find them to be that easy. I find them to be quite tricky because you can't overwater them, but they still need water sometimes. I always find that they grow out of their pot and their like little petals are constantly dying, and then there's a bunch of grow out on the stem. Like, I don't find them that easy. I know that there's a little book of succulents and cacti or whatever, the same author as the houseplants, and I definitely want to buy it because I do love the way succulents look, and I have quite a few around my house, but I just don't find them super, super easy for a beginner, which I feel like a lot of people would say they are easy for a beginner. So you do you, but for me, these are a lot less maintenance and a lot less to worry about than my succulents. I would absolutely love it if you would comment down below what your like favorite easy houseplants are, just to get like the conversation going and have like more that people can refer to in the comments, and it's for me as well, because I feel like I'm somebody who gets very stressed out at the plant shop because there's so many options and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to take care of that one, and then I just don't. So if you have recommendations, definitely let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. I have a whole plant related video playlist I can link up there. Just lots of plant care, plant hauls, like garden updates, tours of my balcony garden, which is thriving right now, I will say. We also do plant updates in our weekly vlogs as well if you want to check some of those out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Again, check the description bar to have the link to sign up. But yeah guys, I hope you're having a great day. I love you, and I'll see you very soon.